My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China. I have not had, the only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one.
Yes, folks, you might remember that was candidate Joseph Robinette Biden lying to the entire country in an effort to save his fledgling campaign and win his Lifetime Achievement Award, President of these United States. Honestly, it wasn't really a shock. We've known for decades that Scranton Joe was, in fact, a liar, that his word as a Biden was no good at all. And for 33 years, Biden's lies and gaffes were covered, and then his campaigns for president swiftly fell apart, both in 1987 and again in 2008. But see, 2020 was different. This time, he wasn't plagiarizing lines from speeches. This time, he was accused of stealing the honor of this nation that we love, of turning a blind eye to his son, Hunter, possibly leveraging the office of the vice president to make millions of dollars for himself, or worse, working with that same son to make money for the entire Biden family. You see, honestly, the notion that Joe Biden was shrewd enough or competent enough to be that corrupt was hard for even the most cynical of Americans to fathom. But now that Hunter Biden has gone into a court of law and confirmed under oath that he did, in fact, make money from China, no less than $600,000. Now that the former Ukrainian prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, has come forward and said he, quote, has no doubt that there were illegal activities engaged in by Burisma. And now that the National Archives have acknowledged no less than 5,400 emails from the vice president using secret aliases to communicate official government business as it relates to Ukraine with that same son, Hunter Biden, CC'd on the secret emails, well, the integrity of our republic demands we go and re-examine the bold-faced lie Joseph Biden told the American people. Because knowing what we know now, the actions that many took in defense of that lie, the "my son made no money" and the "I don't discuss business with my son," well, it seems more treasonous than innocent political theater. We now know that Anthony Blinken worked directly with 51 intelligence officers to cook up that letter calling the laptop from hell Russian disinformation. We know this because Michael Morrell, the former CIA deputy director, I'll say that again, the former CIA deputy director acknowledged as much under oath before Congress. We also know that they knew the laptop, at least most of it, was not Russian disinformation, and yet they used their authority and their proximity to our government as former members of U.S. intelligence to discredit it. Why? Well, in his own words, one of the reasons was, quote, to help Vice President Biden. Again, his statement under oath before Congress. And so, if we now live in a world where the actions of President Donald J. Trump can be viewed not just as brass-knuckled politics, but criminal racketeering, as they are trying to do down in Fulton County, Georgia, then what is it called when the FBI visits Meta, the parent company for Facebook, and suggests, forcefully but not directly, they should suppress critical information of a presidential candidate? What happens when the second largest social media platform, the website formerly known as Twitter, prevents that same information from being disseminated? What happens when the man who is currently the Secretary of State gets his buddies from the most powerful intelligence apparatus on the planet to provide what appears to be a fake cover for one of the most overt acts of corruption adjacent to the executive branch that we have witnessed in our lifetime? I would call that dishonest. I would call that despicable. But dare I say, perhaps we should start calling it a conspiracy. And if we are going to save this country, then we better start treating this cabal with the contempt that they deserve, instead of pretending it's just more lies from a man whose word as a Biden is famous for being no damn good at all.